Ambassador Marcus Reynolds stood before the Galactic Council, his crisp navy uniform a stark contrast to the iridescent robes and chitinous armor of the alien delegates surrounding him. The massive chamber, carved from a single asteroid and decorated with the banners of 300 civilized worlds, hummed with dismissive chatter. "Honored Council," Marcus began, his voice steady despite the weight of what he was about to say, "I must reiterate Earth's warning. The Krell swarm is not like the enemies you've faced before. They don't negotiate. They don't retreat. And they're heading directly for this sector." The Vraxian Chancellor, a mantis-like creature with compound eyes that gleamed with ancient arrogance, clicked its mandibles in what Marcus had learned was their equivalent of laughter. "Ambassador Reynolds, humanity has been part of this council for barely 20 cycles. The Krell have been a minor nuisance for millennia. We have defended the civilized galaxy since before your species discovered fire. With respect, Chancellor, you haven't fought them in 3,000 years. Their technology has evolved. Our deep space reconnaissance has confirmed." "Your reconnaissance?" The Thorian representative, a crystalline being that pulsed with condescending purple light, interrupted. "Forgive us if we don't stake the security of 300 worlds on the word of a species that only achieved faster-than-light travel 60 years ago." Marcus felt his jaw tighten. Colonel Jennifer Blake, his military attaché, shifted uncomfortably beside him. He could feel her barely contained frustration radiating like heat. "Then let me be blunt," Marcus said, abandoning diplomatic niceties. 2 weeks ago, the Krell destroyed the Epsilon relay station. 17,000 Vraxian civilians died in under 3 minutes. The defense platforms your people are so proud of. They didn't fire a single shot. The Krell's new shielding technology absorbed every blast. The chamber fell silent for a moment. Then the Chancellor spoke again, its tone icy. "The Epsilon incident was unfortunate. But we have assembled the Grand Fleet, 2,000 ships, the largest military force in galactic history. The Krell swarm approaching this sector numbers only 800 vessels. The mathematics are simple, even for humans. Numbers mean nothing if your weapons can't penetrate their defenses," Jennifer interjected, earning a sharp glance from Marcus. "Sir, permission to speak freely?" Marcus nodded. They were already past the point of diplomatic courtesy. Jennifer stepped forward. "I'm a military officer, not a diplomat, so I'll say what the ambassador is too polite to express. Your fleet is about to be annihilated. The Krell aren't using conventional shielding anymore. It's quantum-entangled adaptive armor. Every shot you fire teaches it how to defend against the next one. The only reason humanity survived our first contact with them was because we didn't rely on energy weapons." "And what did you use?" asked the Eularian observer, a gelatinous being floating in a containment sphere. "Harsh language." "Kinetic weapons," Jennifer replied flatly. "Rail guns. Coil guns. Good old-fashioned projectiles moving at relativistic speeds. They can't adapt to what's already inside their shields before they can react." The council chamber erupted in derisive sounds from a dozen different species. To them, kinetic weapons were primitive, relics of a barbaric past. The galaxy had moved beyond such crude technology centuries before Earth had even split the atom. Marcus raised his hand for silence. "We're offering to deploy the Pacific Fleet to assist in the defense. 35 ships equipped with weapons that can actually hurt the Krell. All we ask is that you coordinate with our tactical command." "You want us," the Chancellor said slowly, "to place the defensive council space under the command of humans? This council has stood for 10,000 years. We will not." An alarm shrieked through the chamber. A holographic display materialized above the central dais, showing a tactical map of the sector. 800 red markers were approaching the green marker indicating the Council fleet's position. "The Krell have arrived early," someone announced. "Contact in 40 minutes. The Chancellor rose to its full 3-meter height. "Very well, Ambassador Reynolds. You may observe our victory from here. Perhaps it will teach your species some humility about our capabilities." Marcus shared a glance with Jennifer. He'd done everything he could. Then I request permission to evacuate Earth's embassy staff. Just in case. Granted, the Chancellor said dismissively, already moving toward the Strategic Command Center. 38 minutes later, Marcus watched the live feed with a growing sense of horror, though he'd expected exactly this outcome. The Grand Fleet had formed their traditional defensive sphere, energy weapons primed and ready. They'd learned nothing from Epsilon. The Krell struck like a black wave, their biomechanical ships moving with predatory grace. The Council fleet opened fire, and the entire sector lit up with enough energy to vaporize a small moon. It was magnificent. It was useless. The Krell shields absorbed everything, their quantum-adaptive armor learning and evolving in real time. Then the Krell returned fire. Ships began exploding across the display, entire squadrons vanishing in cascading detonations. "Sir," Jennifer said quietly, "Admiral Thompson is requesting permission to engage." Marcus looked at the Chancellor, who stood frozen, its compound eyes fixed on the carnage. 2,000 ships had become 1,500 in less than 5 minutes. "Chancellor," Marcus said firmly, "give us tactical command. Now. Or there won't be anyone left to give orders." The crystalline thorium pulsed with what Marcus now recognized as panic. "Do it." Jennifer was already on the comm. "Admiral Thompson, you have authorization. Execute protocol retribution." On the tactical display, 35 new markers appeared, accelerating from the system's outer rim where they'd been waiting. The Pacific Fleet had been in position for 3 days, just in case humanity's warnings were ignored. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations. The human ships didn't bother with energy weapons. They'd learned that lesson the hard way in their first contact with the Krell. Instead, they fired tungsten rods, each one weighing several tons, accelerated to a significant fraction of light speed by magnetic coils. The Krell's adaptive shields were designed for energy weapons, for particles and plasma. They had milliseconds to react to solid matter moving at relativistic velocities. It wasn't enough. The first volley punched through a dozen Krell ships like they were paper. The second volley hit before the swarm could even react. The human fleet moved in a pattern that seemed chaotic but was actually carefully calculated, each ship's firing solution designed to overwhelm the Krell's ability to adapt. In 47 seconds, the Pacific Fleet destroyed or disabled 400 Krell vessels. The remaining swarm broke formation and fled into jump space. The Grand Fleet, what was left of it, floated in stunned silence. Marcus turned to the Chancellor. "This is why we warned you. The galaxy has forgotten that sometimes, the old ways work best. You've relied on energy weapons for so long that you forgot the fundamental rule of warfare: always adapt to your enemy." The Chancellor's mandibles trembled. "How many ships did you lose?" 3 damaged, none destroyed. They'll be back in action within a week." Jennifer allowed herself a small smile. Turns out bringing a railgun to an energy fight isn't so primitive after all. Marcus addressed the Council, his voice carrying across the silent chamber. "Humanity didn't come to the stars to prove we're better than you. We came hoping to learn from civilizations older and wiser than ours. But apparently, we had a few lessons to teach as well. The next time Earth sends you a warning, I suggest you listen." He turned and walked out, Jennifer at his side. Behind them, the Galactic Council sat in the wreckage of their pride, finally understanding that technological sophistication wasn't the same as tactical wisdom, and that the newest members of their civilization might just be the ones to save it.